Yeah. Hey, Matt, how are you?
Good.
Dwayne Washington goes off. Travion gets in foul trouble. You guys are down 5 with 2 minutes to go. All of that stuff after the offensive rebound. What kind of got your team through this here?
Yeah, obviously that stretch there that I thought Aaron Wheeler made some really good plays, down the stretch defensively. He had the block on Arns' shot. He gets that last rebound. He's paying attention when we're yelling to foul, when we're up 3 at the very end. And just had some awareness plays that obviously really helped us. Obviously, our execution down the stretch made a great execution for Sasha to get that 3. Travion had a nice jump hook when we were down 5. And then obviously Jaden, we were really looking at Jaden to turn the corner on that play or get Sasha slipping back to him. And couldn't get either one of them. But obviously he made a huge shot when he knocked that 3 down.
You know how much Jaden cares about this and how much he puts into it. How much does it mean to you personally as a coach to see that rewarded for him?
You want it for all your guys. For somebody who comes in and a lot of people don't realize that he was out for 3 months spring too. Like he was injured for a while, then he gets injured again. He's one of those guys that wants to be successful, and you're learning the game and you're learning the system, and you're new to college basketball. A lot of his shortcomings so far is just kind of that normal progression that freshmen go through, and you want to stay in the game and keep playing to work through those things, but yet you have to be productive. And you got to know, what's going on. And so that's hard because then your minutes get inconsistent when you come off an injury and, your production's up and down. And, he just kept working, and, he's a guy that puts in a lot of time in his game. And so, he's a good shooter. Even though he doesn't have great numbers shooting the basketball, when his career's over here, he will. And, things balance out. And, when you keep working, you keep putting in time, things are going to work out for you. And I thought besides that shot, I thought he made some really good plays for us.
You've been able to summon some of your best defense when it's mattered most in some of these games. Is there anything to that in terms of why it's happening, when it's happening? Is it an increased concentration level at important times, or what do you think?
I really don't know. Obviously, we had Dwayne Washington. I thought we did a better job in the second half, even though in the first half he made a couple really tough threes on the move. He's a good player. And then, obviously E.J. Liddell, is a tough matchup, and had a huge game the last. And Aaron's got one and made threes. We didn't want him to be part of this game, but obviously he was a part of this game. A guy like that, whenever he really shoots the basketball, he just seems to give them a lift. And so just trying to stay with him, we let him get away from us a couple times. We fouled him to start the game. Down the stretch at the end, just trying to contest shots to the best of our ability and make it hard for him, and then scrap for rebounds.
Just in a game where they're running him off the line, for Sasha to get you 15 and make the biggest shot of the game, or the second biggest shot of the game, I guess I should say. What does that kind of say about him, about his evolution as an all-around player, as a scorer, however you want to put it?
Well, he's made some nice drives this year and then just hasn't finished at the rim. He's made a couple, but he's had a lot more than he's missed than he's made. But they've been, good reads and, turning the corner on dribble handoffs or a down screen, a wide pin down, and then just getting to the rim. And tonight, he made a couple really nice drives, and he made a couple nice pull-ups. And on one of them, he obviously got fouled. And he's a good player. And so he worked hard, and he's put a lot of time to it. And, but if you watched him in high school, you watched him do a lot of different things. And now just you play a role, and you come and you try to be great in the role that you're in, and you really don't want to play to your weaknesses, and you don't want things to expand too much if you can't do the thing. Obviously tonight he was able to do some of those things, but it's not something he's going to do a lot of. He's got spots, and I thought tonight he picked his spots, made a couple nice drives, a couple nice pull-ups, And then when we needed it the most, he stepped up to knock that shot down.
It looked like Zach gave you really good minutes in the first half. What did you kind of see from him?
Zach played well. Zach, just, getting deeper position and, just taking his time. And he gets the ball down there. If they want to swarm him, pass the basketball and get him in a rotation. If not, just take your time and go to one of your post moves. So, I thought he did some good things. Tonight for us really gave us a spark, when I was in there.
Thank you, Matt.
Coach, when they were coached in the first half. Hi, can I jump in? Hi, Coach.
Yeah,
in the first half, they were shooting the lights out from beyond the arc, and it didn't look like they were going to miss too many. You clearly made some adjustment to that. Can you kind of walk me through what you were seeing in the first half? You shut them out from the lane, but what did you do to kind of compensate for that and make those adjustments as the game went on?
Yeah, they only had 6 twos on the game. They only had 2 twos in the first half. They hit 9 threes in the first half and 5 threes in the second half, which, 14 threes is a lot. Normally when someone makes 14 threes, you're going to lose the game. But they didn't have very many twos. And we really didn't make any adjustments. We just tried to be there. We give Justin Arns 3 free throws by fouling him. We let Justin Arns get a 3-pointer in transition. Dwayne Washington made a couple tough ones. We had a couple bad rotations, and then they were able to knock a couple of them down. But just in terms of kind of how the game unfolds, we didn't do anything differently. We just tried to stay with Dwayne Washington as best we could and just make it hard on him. He'll make tough ones, but just trying to make him earn everything that he gets.
Thank you.
Carmen, go ahead.
Yes, Matt, why go with Jaden in this situation at the end?
Yeah, just his ability to get by people, and obviously he doesn't get by him. But I think that was the main reason. Is just you get stuck sometimes when you go in the low post, even though I've done that through my career with guys like Swanigan and Haas and Hammonds and, going to them late. When it's a possession type game, they could get bottled up and get stuck. And so I still would do it. I still would go with Travion Williams, but he was getting by people. He made a tough runner that he banked in. He was getting to the rim, and so we just felt like we wanted to get to the basket. We wanted to get them in a slip and see how they would handle it. If we got into a switch, then we had Arns on Jaden to get by him. We didn't get that. And he just, he dribbled in place and knocked down the rhythm shot. The thing is that he's not made that shot for us this year, but he makes it a practice. Like when he dribbles in place and pulls, he makes it a lot. So that wasn't something that was new to us. It's new to our opponents because he just hasn't gotten, he hasn't got going yet from 3, overall. But he's very, very capable. He's going to make a lot of threes in his career. But no, it's just something that when you get to that point, you got to try to be aggressive. You got to try to go to the basket, even though we make a 3 here. And he gives us the best chance there.
I know this was a couple days ago, so a lot of things have happened. But when Jaden was out there shooting Sunday after the game, you came out and talked to him for a couple minutes. I guess, what was your message at that point?
Right. Just make sure you go back and you watch, the game. Make sure you go and watch when you play. He's always in there watching film. Ethan Morton's that way. Brandon Newman's that way. Mason's that way. Eric Hunter. I could go on and on. We have a group of guys that want to get better. I just said, be emotional, be frustrated when you don't shoot well. Play well. Be productive. You're not going to, I always tell those guys, when you live and die on every shot, you're going to be dead a lot. But you can still rebound, you can still run, you can still guard man, you can still play the game without turning it over. You can still execute plays. You can go on and on. There's constants in the game that you can always do. And sometimes the ball is going to go in, sometimes it's not. But it's a byproduct of youth. They think how they play is how they score. and he's no different. He's a scorer, and that's the way he is. But like, don't take sometimes your coach not playing him, like we don't believe in you. Like we believe in him. He's a talented kid, but he's got to be productive and listen to what we're trying to give you, because there's things that get you on the court and there's things that get you off the court. And if you're not knowledgeable about them, but like, you have to have real conversations with guys. You just have to be, direct with them and honest with them. But they all got to know that, just keep plugging, like keep going. And so like, we think he's fabulous. And, but you have to be able to play, and you got to be able to take and structure. People change and people do things. So like, they think, they do X, Y, and Z, where Tom Izzo, these guys aren't going to allow them. Brad Underwood's not going to allow you to do that. Like, we load up on people, and like, we don't let people in, and all of a sudden somebody might make some shots on us. So like, well, what are you doing? Like, well, we're taking something away. Sometimes I don't feel like we can take everything away. And I wish we could take everything away. If you just have a dominant defensive team, you just take it all away. Hell with all this. Like, you don't get threes, you don't get twos, you don't get drives, you don't get post-ups, just the way. But if you don't have that, and we don't, you got to try to take something away. So you scheme, and you got to know what's going on out there. And until you can get in that place, you better be really productive in a certain area, or it's going to affect your minutes. So that was more or less what but I always talk to him about it. He always wants to know, which I like. And then you walk out of the gym and he's in there shooting. That's just another thing that you like. He wants to be good, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he had this moment.
One more. You fouled up 3 tonight, but I think it was Maryland. You got up 3, and they had the last possession. You didn't foul. What was different about today's situation?
Because Dwayne Washington got it. And he was hot, and right as I saw him, I'm like, oh shit, he's going to hit a 30-footer right here. And so I just started screaming out. And but that's, my respect for Dwayne Washington is the reason I did that. Because when he's like that, he makes tough running 30-foot. It was like other night when Marion started, he made a couple, and you're like, I don't know what you thought, but I thought they all were going in. Just like got in one of those rhythms at the end of the game. So once again, give Aaron Wheeler credit. He's the one that heard it and reacted in a short amount of time, because we didn't have time to adjust to that. We're driving the basketball, so we're not saying, okay, if we hit a 3 here, even though Sasha spit out, we can go back to him and he can shoot that. You just can't get to that particular moment and really talk about everything that possibly could happen. You just got to be able to listen and go on the fly, and Aaron did a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Anyone else for Coach Painter?
Yeah, I got one for Coach. Hey, Coach, you outscored the Buckeyes 28
All right,
to
go
6.
ahead.
Your bench outscored the Buckeyes 28 to 6 today. At any point, how certain
Okay.
are you that how you put in is going to get the job done?
Jaden Ivey obviously has 15, and Zach Edey has 8, and Aaron has a little things. He has 2 points. Aaron had our best plus minus for the game. Just shows you when you do a lot of little things, it's it's going to keep you in the game. I thought Isaiah did some good things for us. So give our bench credit. I thought our bench played well, and obviously they have a couple guys out. They have both their point guards out, and I think with that, we just tried to get Zach involved offensively, and then obviously Jaden was really aggressive. But that's a big. I didn't realize that, but that's a big piece of the game when your bench can be that productive.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.